Have you ever noticed how much of your day is spent trying to control something? Your schedule, your body, your image, other people's opinions of you, even the things that were never yours to hold. We do it automatically, tightening our grip on life, hoping that if we plan enough, predict enough, or perform enough, the chaos will quiet down. But it never really does it? Because control is the great modern illusion. It gives you the comforting sense of steering the wheel, while you're actually gripping air. And the more you try to hold everything together, the more life slips through your fingers. Control is one of the most seductive lies ever told to the human psyche. It masquerades as strength, discipline, success. But deep down, it's driven by fear, the fear of not knowing what will happen next. We live in an era obsessed with mastery, self-optimization, tracking steps, calories, minutes of focus. Every app is designed to help you manage something, your habits, your money, your mind. But the more data we collect, the more anxious we become, because control and peace cannot coexist. When you try to micromanage reality, you disconnect from life itself. And here's the paradox. The tighter you hold, the more fragile you feel. Alan Watts once said, "To control yourself, you must first accept yourself." But we've built a world that confuses control with safety. So we spend our lives fighting uncertainty, as if the unknown were an enemy, not a teacher. Think about how early this begins. As kids, we're rewarded for obedience and punished for unpredictability. We're told to color inside the lines, to smile for the picture, to not make a scene. And little by little, we learn that love comes when we behave, when we're in control. That's how it starts, control as a survival strategy, a way to feel safe in an unsafe world. But the moment it becomes habitual, it starts to run the show. You stop living. You start managing. Managing your emotions so no one sees the messy parts. Managing relationships so no one leaves. Managing your image so you're always put together. And yet deep inside, you're exhausted. Because control doesn't bring peace. It just postpones the fear. Now think about this. The moments you felt most alive, were they ever under your control? Falling in love, laughing until you cry, hearing a song that stops you in your tracks. None of those moments were planned. They happened to you, when you let go. Eckhart Tolle writes that true freedom begins the moment you stop resisting the present moment. But that surrender feels terrifying to the mind that equates control with survival. You think, if I stop controlling, everything will fall apart. But maybe it's already falling apart because you're controlling. This is the cruelest point, the thing we never want to see. Control doesn't protect you from chaos, it creates it. You see, control is not power, it's tension. It's the ego's desperate attempt to play God, to shape, edit, and dominate life until it behaves the way we want it to. But the self, the deeper consciousness Jung spoke of, is not interested in domination. It's interested in integration. It wants you to meet the parts of yourself that you've been trying to manage, silence, or hide. The controller in you, that perfectionist, that overthinker, that fixer, was born out of pain. It was your body's way of saying, I don't feel safe. And that's where the real work begins. Because the goal is not to get rid of control, it's to understand it, to meet it with compassion, to say, thank you for protecting me, but I don't need you to drive anymore. That's surrender. Not collapse, not giving up, but trusting that life has intelligence beyond your plans. So what does letting go actually look like? It's not dramatic. It's quiet. It's when you stop forcing conversations that aren't flowing. When you stop rereading messages that hurt. When you stop needing every situation to make sense right now. Letting go is allowing things to reveal themselves in their own time. It's trading control for curiosity. It's choosing presence over prediction. You start small, by noticing where you tighten up in your day. The clenched jaw, the scrolling habit, the need to check your phone again just to be sure. That's your body saying, I'm trying to control what I can't. So you breathe. You come back to the moment. You let the discomfort move through you without needing to fix it. That's how the nervous system learns safety, not through control, but through presence. Viktor Frankl, who survived the concentration camps, said it simply, Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. That space, that breath, is where control dissolves into awareness. And here's the beauty of it. The moment you stop trying to control life, life starts to cooperate. It's as if reality was waiting for you to loosen your grip, to finally dance instead of fight. Relationships become lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Your body softens. You stop mistaking intensity for love and start recognizing peace as power. Because the truth is, the universe doesn't need your control. It needs your participation. It doesn't need your perfection. It needs your presence. When you stop chasing control, you rediscover flow. When you stop overthinking, you make space for wisdom. And when you stop performing, you remember who you were before fear took over. So ask yourself, what am I trying to control right now that's keeping me from living? What would happen if just for today you let it go? Would the world really fall apart, or would you finally fall into it? The truth reveals itself when you stop trying to manage it. That's the paradox. Surrender is not weakness, it's alignment. You don't need to hold everything together. You just need to let yourself be held. By life, by presence, by the unknown. Because when you release control, you don't lose power. You return to it. And the question is, are you ready for that? Comment below. I choose flow. I let go. I trust life. Trust